what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the Hot Toys Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Rey and D-O figures. Now the product code for this is MMS559, and now this is actually based on Rey from Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which is episode 9. I had this on 4K and I saw this a bunch of times, like in the theaters too as well. I thought this was actually like better than what they did with The Last Jedi, you know, but this is based on that particular version of Rey. And I also have the entire Secret Trilogy. I have The Force Awakens, I also have The Last Jedi, and also have, like I mentioned before, The Rise of Skywalker. And as usual, I do have like the original 6 Star Wars films, you know, right here on Blu-ray. Now I must admit I'm definitely excited about having a Rey figure because I hadn't had Rey, you know, and I was missing out on her. So I'm glad I actually managed to pick up the final Rey, you know, like from the final film with her. So I think this is kind of exciting and awesome. And I am a fan of her too as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this right now. See, this is the box that contains the Hot Toys Rey and D-O figures. There's like the box art, which has Rey on the front. And of course you have her right down the side too. I like the image right here. Right here, I think that's cool. With the cloak up on her head, I think that is cool. And I think this is a beautiful image of the figure right here on the back, like this artwork. Because from what I'm hearing, Hot Toys hasn't changed like their style of like boxing too, from what I'm hearing. And again, the product code for this is MMS559. And I actually got this off of Sideshow Orders. I've been had it like, you know, like on order. I was just waiting for it to release. And as usual, when you take these on out, of course, you get like the art thing right here that you can see, which has her like doing her Jedi training with like the probe droid thing. I know it has a name, I believe. She even has on the helmet. As usual, these are always beautiful. And as usual, Hot Toys gives you the instruction manual. I know it's packed full of like accessories. So it's always useful to use these, as you can see. It shows you how to, you know, put like the figure and the accessories on her and stuff. Because there are some things I was curious about too. That's how Rey actually looks on the inside too, of all her stuff. I want to actually talk about Rey's display stand too first. I see they had that on there. This is how it actually looks this time. It has like the sand right there, as you can see. And of course it has her name like Rey on it. It's a beautiful piece too. Now this right here is different to me. This kind of neck piece, and it still is like adjustable. You can like pull it out. But I'm not really familiar with these kind. So this is kind of different to me, like this cradle. But as usual, you would just take this and just like, you know, plug it on in. So I had that ready for like a Rey. I pulled the figure out herself. She's very thin. And she also has all that plastic around her, so I have to actually take all that off right quick. So what I'm gonna do first is take all the plastic off her. There's one on her arm. She has a lot too. I already can tell I'm about to cut some of this off. Yeah, she has like a lot. There's the Hot Toys, The Rise of Skywalker Rey figure. So I'm measuring her, and she's like just over 11 inches, almost like 12 inches in height. So what I do first is talk about the actual likeness and articulation to Daisy Ridley. Now, as you can see, she does stand pretty good, but I must admit, being that she is like such a very thin figure, she does seem like she would like just fall over, you know. But she stands, so she's very like lightweight. But I was hearing the things that other fans were saying about this. But I believe this is a pretty good looking figure too. This is an awesome likeness to Daisy Ridley. Now they have some plastic around her neck, which I was trying to get off her, but it actually went all within her, so I actually had just cut some of it off, but it's still right there, as you can see. But yeah, I think this does look like a Rey though, especially like, you know, When you look from certain angles, it is even like head on. Yeah, that really does look like her. They even have her hair like sculpted right there in the back like this, and this is my first Rey figure too. So I think this is a awesome job. I like how you can see her hair like dangling right here too. I think that's kind of cool. It looks like it's a softer like plastic. You can even see all like the blemishes and imperfections in her skin too. If you get real close, you can see the spots and stuff on her skin. I think that's kind of cool. Her eyes even has that like glossy look to them. As you can see, she has these around like her arms too and so on. And I like how they actually have these arms designed. I'm going to touch on that too as I go through this. Even the look of her outfit, I think it's just awesome. I really think this is a beautiful outfit. Rey also has like a hood like on the back of it too right there, as you can see, because you can actually take the hood. So I already know how to span her like this and raise it up over her head. And it's wire based too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, as you can see, it has like a wire in it, so you can actually like bend it. It's like how you want it. But probably just span it like that. These are her shoes too as well. Tread watch. She has these right around her like her legs too. Even these like flowing like skirt things, tail things. These are all around her. She has a holster right there too around her waist. It looks like underneath it it's actually velcroed on too. Now Rey can split. Her leg can go up. She has a bend in the knee. Arms can go up too as well. Now this is what I want to actually touch on. This is what I think is actually cool, but I'm hearing about what some of the other people are saying too. Of course, you can actually do like an ab crunch too, so you can kind of like bend over, but not too much. But you can't put it like in a pose like that. I like how you don't see like no hinge point right there where the bicep will turn, so you would think you couldn't even turn that, but of course we already know you can. But she does have a bend in the elbow. Now from what I'm hearing, you have to be kind of careful with these, because if you bend it too long like that, it will actually develop like a wrinkle in it from what I'm hearing. So they say it's mostly best to actually keep that down. But I think it's cool that it's so seamless, like the technology in that. When you bend her arm, you don't see like no hinge. So I still think that's cool. 'Cause I have other figures like that too, like on this scale that's like that too. And of course Rey here has like a bunch of movement. You can turn like left, right. She can look up, she can look down. She has a bunch of like movements with her head. So I think they did a pretty good job with that. I still got this plastic still in her too. I might still mess with trying to get that off like later, but I was kind of having trouble with it. But I think this is a awesome figure. It is beautiful, and like I mentioned before, that it is cool actually having like a Rey figure. I don't have now. But what I'm gonna do now is actually put her on the stand, because she does seem to be like very like lightweight, you know. She stands though. Like if you mess with it, she stands. I want to move on to the accessories that come with the Hot Toys Rey and D-O Rise of Skywalker figure. And right here is this actual cross body bag, they're calling it. It even has some plastic on it too. I think I gotta cut that off right there where like the belt buckle is. But as you can see, it has like a holder on it too. And I guess you can actually just put this around Rey. And this actually opens too. Now I wonder how this actually works though. It's like this net material too right there. Cause you can tell that you actually can open it and put stuff in. So I guess this must be unlocks right here, so I'm about to check it. But I'm assuming the bag itself actually opens right there, because it looks like it's like a peg. I didn't want to force it though. But I think that's a cool accessory to have, like a bag. Then the next thing that she has is the actual cloth wrap from the film, where she actually took this and actually covered Luke in like layers, like lightsabers up, and put them like in the desert on Tatooine at the end, because you know she had finally created her own lightsaber. So I think it's cool that they had gave us this too. That's awesome. Now this way was actually like the surprise of the Hot Toys Rey and D-O thing. Rey actually gets her own lightsaber, as you can see. Right here is the actual her staff that she had made it out of, and I was just starting to realize after a while of watching that she had made the lightsaber out of her own staff. You can see how it looks, but this is how it actually is right here. Because what you have to do is actually assemble like a piece on here too as well, where you will actually hook the lightsaber. And I think this can actually hang. Yeah, it also has like a hanging thing right there too, where you can hook it on Rey, like they have it hanging. But I think this is how it goes right here. I'm gonna see if I can do it. It did this too. Cause what you have to do is actually take this on off. And there's like this, there'll be like this separate like piece right that was on top of the lightsaber. Then you would take this other piece that comes with it. Then you would attach it. Then once that is through, you can actually take a Rey's like blade, and I think it's cool is that they gave her like this color for a saber, or she chose this color, because it's so different from like the traditional like blue, green, and purple, you know, white. So I think it's good. It's awesome that she has like a yellow or gold looking saber. Then you would just take this and plug it on the inside. I still think this is so cool they gave us this, because they don't actually have this listed, you know, in the thing, but it actually does come with this particular lightsaber. And then of course you get like a wave effect one too as well. Now it's interesting that Sideshow or Hot Toys didn't give us a LED light up lightsaber. I think that's kind of interesting that they didn't do that. But you do get like a wave effect one too if you want to change them out. Now as I move on through the accessories, I guess the next major part of the accessory is the actual D-O droid. This is the droid that was introduced. I see he actually has some plastic around him too, so I might take that off. Let me see. Yeah, you would just remove like the top of his head right here, then it'll come on off. But this right is beautifully done. Like this is like the new droid, because BB-8 is still in the film too, of course. But this is the other droid that was introduced. I like how all dirty and like filthy it looks, like it's been through a lot. I think that's kind of cool. And of course his head can turn, you know, left and right and so on, up and down. One of the things cool about this, and interesting too, he doesn't stand up. They actually get the D-O to stand up. He's actually like magnetized, and it's actually magnetized to like Rey's stand. So you actually have to take him, and he would just like, and he actually locks right on in. As soon as you do it, he actually locks right on in. So there he is right there next to Rey. You see how he actually shot on over? It's like a strong magnet in it. So I think that's kind of cool. It's like this. The wheel turns too, you know, it's just kind of tight, but it does like turn. So you do have no choice but to actually keep D-O right there next to Rey like that. That's the only way he will actually stand up, you know. It's like next to Rey. He also comes with the these antenna things too. You get like 2 packs of them. One for 3 each, and they look different. So I may put some of these on them. This is how these antenna things actually look up close, and this is just one because the other one is kind of like different looking. But as you can see, this is how these actually look, and these go into the back of D-O's head. Now you get 3 of them, so I'm finna see if I can because I heard this is kind of troublesome putting it in them, because you can see like the slots right down the back of his head where they would actually fit at too. So I'm gonna see if I can put some in, and it's kind of tricky the way they have the antennas designed to assemble like on D-O's head, because you have three different slots, and you do gotta line them up, but you actually can feel it when you put them in the grooves. So I think that's why I did it right, because you can see it actually stays. But I'm gonna be surprised if one of them actually is kind of like wrong. But I still think this is a cool accessory to have. It's nice to have like another droid, you know, because sadly I don't have BB-8. The series I want to talk about is the actual training helmet that Rey was actually using when she was fighting. As you can see, you can open the visor right there and close it. Now this actually goes around her head, but I think the piece is actually removable from the back. Now it does like it's kind of tight though, but you do have to actually separate it from the back where to put this on her. But the detailing in it is awesome. As usual, it has like the weather and battle damage like look to it. So I think that's kind of cool. Looks like rusty. And when you take the piece out, this is how it actually looks. It's kind of hard, I must admit, to actually get this to separate. Now as I move on, Rey also has the training remote too as well, and a stand for it. But this remote, a pro droid, no it ain't a pro, but yeah, the actual remote, it actually is beautiful. The way they actually sculpted this. Look at all the detail in that. I can't believe that. I think that's yeah, this is probably where like the actual stick go for the hole, because you actually have to take this and stick it inside here. I don't know if it's gonna go in real good. Then what you do, of course, is take the stand and just plug it on in, because you can do it from any angle. And there's the actual training remote for Rey to use. That's kind of awesome. Now up next, Rey actually has like another arm cuff that you can put around her wrist if you want, which is kind of cool. Ben sure it does have stuff like that around her. Then up next, one of my favorite accessories. I'm glad I actually was able to finally get this now, because it comes with Rey. Is Han Solo's blaster that he actually gave to Rey in The Force Awakens. I always thought this was a cool blaster, and she does always use this too. So I'm glad that she came equipped with it again. I think this is awesome. I didn't even know it had like a blue color to it right there. I didn't even notice that. Now that I see it up close. But I always thought this was an awesome blaster. Because you're even going to holster it too on Rey. So as you can see, I holstered Rey's blaster right there. I think from what I was hearing, it looks like it can even go on the back of her too, if I'm not mistaken. And up next, Hot Toys as usual gives you like the pegs, like if you break them. I think this is still awesome that they give us extra pegs. Then up next, Rey has a set of 5 alternate hands. So she has like a total of 7 interchangeable hands. She has like a left and right. You can tell these are like gripping type hands. You can put stuff in them. Then she has another gripping hand. Actually, I think one of them was a trigger. This is like kind of like a gripping type hand. Then she has two more solid fists. Well, actually, yeah, these were the 2 solid fists that she had, like just 2 closed fists. Because she has 2 relaxed hands on her, and that's why this right here was actually her trigger hand. Up next for Rey is the actual her lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, or Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Now this is the actual hilt of it right here. Now one of the things I think is really cool about this, I didn't even notice in the film. You can see where she actually had repaired it right there. Because you know it was like broken when she was fighting Kylo Ren. Because it caused it to like separate with the Force. But this right is the actual saber itself when it's actually out. Now I don't think you can remove this. And I heard that hers were like that in the previous, like that in the past. Previously like that, you couldn't take the blade out, but this is her actual blue lightsaber. Now this probably is the weapon that will be really displayed with Rey when I'm really using, because it was a lightsaber that she predominantly used throughout the sequel trilogy, you know. Not one that she actually made, like that yellow one, but mainly this one. It's awesome that they gave us this too. Up next we have Leia's lightsaber that she used like in the flashback sequence where she was training with Luke. Now I don't think the blade is removed, I'm not too sure, but it does have like the thing with the thing where you can actually take the hilt and hang it. But I do admit that is a beautiful looking hilt right there too for the lightsaber. That looks cool. So yeah, this would have been Princess Leia, or Leia's like lightsaber. Maybe she became a Jedi. I think that's awesome. And then Rey actually has her, I guess you could say her main weapon other than the lightsaber. Like her actual weapon is the actual staff. It's very large too. I didn't know it was this long. It even has like a strap on it, you know, so you can actually put it around her like back, you know, car not having to span it like that. Cause this is what she actually made her lightsaber out of. In the end, cause I didn't even notice it at first that she actually made her lightsaber out of this staff. And that's kind of cool. And this is nicely detailed too. It's all welded and like a battle damage. Because of course, you know, Rey would be fighting a lot with this staff. I think that's kind of cool. Looks like this can separate to the strap. Now what I want to do is actually compare this awesome Rey figure with some of my other figures from the Star Wars Secret Trilogy. Right here, this is my Finn figure. As you can see, I still have like the accessories on, because this has I actually have them all displayed. So you can kind of see like the height, how they like scale. Now her stand is actually a little higher than Finn, but he is still about her height, you know. I thought that's kind of cool. And up next, I have my Kylo Ren figure too, from The Force Awakens. Just give like a comparison. Now of course he's like taller than all now. Of course the Finn figures from The Force Awakens too, you know. These are some awesome figures too. I really like these figures a lot. The last figure that I do have is the actual Luke Skywalker from the Last Jedi. So you can see how he even scales. Because these are all the characters from like the Secret Trilogy. That's why I tried to decide to actually do it this way. The Luke even awesome too as well. And like I said, that's based on his appearance in The Last Jedi. Whereas like Kylo Ren and Finn, they are from The Force Awakens, and Rey, of course, is from The Last Jedi. Just give it like a size comparison, because Rey is definitely like shorter of the figures that I have right here. Awesome collection. Okay, there's the Hot Toys, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Rey and D-O figures. The protocol for this is MMS 559. Now, of course, this is based on the Rise of Skywalker Rey from the last chapter in the Secret Trilogy, or the last episode, which I have read, and I did get to see this a bunch of times in the theaters. I actually forgot how many. And of course, I do have like the other two films, like in the Secret Trilogy, like The Force Awakens, and I also have The Last Jedi. And as usual, I have like the first 6 Star Wars episodes too on Blu-ray. I would definitely recommend picking this one on up. This is easily one of my top favorite figures of the year, and it's awesome having like a Rey figure finally too. So I think that's kind of cool. I wish I had like BB-8, you know. But I still think this is awesome that we got the D-O droid too. Now I must admit, this stand right here, I'm not really too familiar with this kind of a stand. I don't kind of agree with it, because you actually have, it's so tight, and it looks like you actually got to pull the thing out to actually be able to put them on the stand and so on. So that's kind of new to me. I kind of believe I prefer like the actual used style stands that I usually, that most of the times come with these figures. But I might get used to it, but I still believe this is awesome. She has an awesome amount of accessories. The likeness to Daisy Ridley, or you could say Rey herself, is just superb on this figure. I like how her clothes are, like the accessories. You can have like the staff in her hand, like Han Solo's blaster. I know that blaster has a name. Even though like the lightsaber here, all that you can just have attached to her. So I think that's kind of awesome. It's really an amazing figure. I would definitely recommend picking this one up. So this is the Hot Toys, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Rey and D-O 6-scale figures. I would definitely recommend these. Please leave a comment and subscribe to as well. Dun, 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 dun.